Welcome back to another episode of Flying Brown's Garage. Needless to say, I'm glad to be home. I just got back from out of town for work, and it was one of the worst trips I've had. Get up there and get to my first job, which luckily is a friend of mine. Battery light came on. I noticed my gauges in the van, it was showing I had low voltage. You know, I got a 14 volt alternator, 125 amp. So it's supposed to at least, you know, show 14 when I'm in idle. Now it drops when I start using shit and everything. It goes to about 12 when I'm driving. You know, 12 volt battery, 12 volt charge. The other 2 volts to run everything else. It kind of, you know, makes sense. Or however the hell that goes. But I went to go check it. And at first I thought it was just my positive terminal on my battery because it's kind of loose. I have fucking all kinds of shit hooked up to that positive terminal. So it's not like it's a side post setup. I can't convert it to top because the way it's in there. But I got a fucking bolt in there so I can slide everything on that positive terminal. And that wasn't it. Threw testers on it through the scanner on it and everything. And it had a couple codes, but it's just the codes from the temperature of the van. It says it's running too cool, which it's not. It's running at temperature, but I don't have the stock thermostat temperature gauge, the temperature sensor hooked up. It's laying on top of the fucking manifolds. Yeah, and then I got my racing gauges hooked up into that port, so it's probably always gonna read that. So I just cleared it. Fuck it, I don't care. I'm in a non-emissions county now anyway, so I don't give a shit. But come to find out, it was the alternator, and had one. Actually, got it right here. It's a stock alternator I had grabbed off of that Pontiac Aztec that I had that I scrapped out. And apparently I thought it was the wrong alternator. I thought it was 105 volt. It's not. It was 125, and it would have worked in my van. But it looks so damn wore out. Usually I carried it in my van, but this time it was here at the shop. I'm 2 hours away. So I had to leave my van at a friend's house and go find an alternator. Cheapest one I could find was $255 at a place called Zips, which I will be using him again. If you're ever in the Conyers, Georgia area and you need a good dude that rebuilds starters, alternators, and can get you new and refurbished, Zips Rebuilding. That dude's pretty damn good. He was very professional. And I got a new alternator within a couple days, had it put on, but by that time I had missed all my jobs because I was broken down, didn't have a vehicle, and so I just came home for the weekend. I'll have to go back up there Monday or Tuesday, but yep, that was my ordeal, and it was all because this son of a bitch was sitting here at the shop. Same bolt pattern, came off same 3/4. Probably still gonna save it because I could use it on my van if I ever need to. I mean, it's got a brand new alternator on it now, but I might just shove this son of a bitch in just in case, because seems to be handy to carry around extra parts for it. It weighs me down like a motherfucker, but you know what? You're driving 2 hours one way. It's good to have shit. Or I could use this damn thing on a tractor build. I still got the wiring harness from that unit. So that means I still got the plugs and everything. I could convert it to charge a battery on the tractor. I'd have to change a pulley out, but I mean, I'm sure it could be done. I'm sure people have done it. I've never done it personally, but I'm sure I could figure out a way. I got many fabricating friends, and it would work great on my GT, because it's got a 800 cold cranking amp side post battery on it, automotive. Didn't want it to go to waste in my car while it sits with no motor in it, so put the battery in the damn tractor. But tonight, and maybe part of tomorrow, gonna be working on this guy here. The last video I did on this, I was starting out the custom steering that I'm fabricating to come from a Murray Select to a 90s Craftsman LT1000. But instead, I'm going to put this on hold for a while because I still haven't kind of figured out how I'm going to do it without the steering gear hitting my pulleys. I'm either going to have to reroute the pulley setup, or I'm going to have to drop this down and put a plate across the bottom of the frame, which would give it rigidity. So I'm thinking of actually going that route and cutting a hole in the frame here up top so I can shove this through to the bottom plate, and then the steering gear would be on the very, very bottom instead of up here in my frame with my pulleys. And that's kind of how it's set up on that Select. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to have to do. I got some brackets from Conyers shop. So what I might do is cut the old plate out of the bottom of the Murray that actually had that setup for it to bolt onto already. That way I don't have to template that out, cut that out. I don't have to fuck with that. All I have to do is cut that plate out of the bottom of that tractor frame, get the brackets that I got, and make it to where it'll actually bracket to the frame on the bottom, and then I'd have my straight shot already. And I'm not going to weld it. I'm going to bolt it just in case I ever have to take it apart. Especially if it makes it harder for me to get to my belt, my pulleys, stuff like that. I'm not going to weld that plate on. I am going to bolt that just for easy removal. So while I'm figuring this out in my brain, because I gotta come up with something. I lay awake at night and think about shit. This shit keeps me up forever. But what we're gonna do is try to get the hood on. Hey Marshall, what you doing, buds? Shop dog came to see me. Come see, bud. Good boy. Him's this good boy. But we're gonna try to get the hood on. And I was also working on the brakes. I've got it in way. The caliper was all hung up, and pads are all wore out. So I'm in the process of getting that sorted out. Marshall, don't pee on my stuff. Thank you, bud. Such a good dog. So we're going to try to get the hood on here. Now, I'm not going to be able to do any cutting tonight, because I want to cut the hood down like I cut the hood down on the GT. I know a lot of people are against cutting the hood. I'm not. I don't want my tractor to look like any other tractor. I want it to be different. I know that cutting the hood on my GT did take out some of the structural stability of the hood. It doesn't really hurt it too much, just because the fact that I don't really open it a whole lot, and I've got it strapped down on each side with hood straps, ratchet straps that I bolted in and straps my hood down, so it doesn't move on rides. It doesn't flex when I hit bumps. It's a little more like flimsy when I open it, but I'm just gentle with it, you know. A lot of people will probably say, no, 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 don't cut your hood, but, you know, I'm me. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do, and I like the look of it. It opened up my engine for more air, so I don't overheat it as bad. Which I haven't overheated it yet, but I'm just waiting for today. I know it did open it up for, you know, damage and stuff like that, but mud, water, whatever, especially being slung. But I was kind of, if you can tell, I was kind of going after that wheel horse look without being a wheel horse, because everybody's got one. I want my shit to be a little different. I want my shit to stand out. So I do cut and chop and modify, and this project actually is, I'm more going over the looks of a lifted rat tractor, like a rat rod slash tractor fucking conglomeration. But yeah, I'm gonna see if this hood will actually sit up here. Okay, that's a problem already. I'm gonna have to space out those brackets. Big time. Okay, let's see how far they need to come in. I kind of want the hood to sit on top of that if possible. I know it's not the exact shape, but fuck it. It's close. Yep. That's what it's hitting. Fuck. I can probably get the front mounted up tonight. But even if I wanted to not cut this hood on this tractor, it doesn't fucking matter. I gotta cut it anyway. Because of the fact, let me bring y'all around here. It is hitting the clutch pedal. So, what I want to do is probably take it at this line here. Kind of like that. And then I'll probably take it to there. And then I'll have to add a screw or two in a couple spots to add some stability to this once I cut this out. I might not even cut that out like that. What I might do to keep the stability, sorta, is cut it like this. Yep. Kind of take it right there at that mark. and take it straight up to this point here, or that point there. Yep. Yes. Yeah. Alright. Alright, love you, bye. That was my lady calling me to ask something real quick. My bad. The hood spacing in the front is not even close to being this frame at all. So what I'm probably going to have to do is bolt these in and then space out longer bolts. All that good shit. And then, yeah. That ought to be, what I need. So, I guess I'm going to go ahead and get started on this project. I guess I like the way that looks. Looks weird on that tractor, but it's the only hood I got. My most favorite setup.